Everybody just calm down. I love WWE, I love AEW, I love Ring of Honor, I love Impact. Hell, there's a promotion over here in the UK called UPW, and I love them too. I mean, they did make me their champion, but that's not the point. What is the point is that with these videos, every now and then we're gonna have some fun, and sometimes play devil's advocate. So as far as I'm concerned, all wrestling rocks. That's right. For today though, hello, I'm Simon from What Culture. Please hit that subscribe button. Remember, the comment section is just down there. And this is 10 ways WWE is better than AEW. Oh boy. Number 10, building one megastar does work. So this really is an either-or situation because both companies are doing well with their chosen route. But Vince McMahon, since day dot, has always been about the one top guy. He did it with Hulk Hogan, lucked out when he had both Steve Austin and The Rock, John Cena, and today Roman Reigns. And sure, this didn't start great as we tried to create the big dog in the man who can't be seen's image, but then August 2020 rolled around, and everything Reigns has done since then has been excellent. He is now a proven ratings draw and sells tickets to the shows when he's announced for the card, and while his reign has affected some others who should have beaten him, SmackDown has been a steady ship because of our tribal chief. He's also presented with some serious conviction and sold as an unstoppable beast, and look, it's done the job, so it still works. Number 9, rewatching and reliving. Do you know what AEW has been great at recently? Reminding me to go and watch more Bret Hart matches. CM Punk and FTR have been so cool about the Hitman, it got me pumped up to relive some of his classics, and of course I get to do that through the WWE Network. I get there's a huge difference here too, but the sad part is, if you want to do this with anything AEW, nothing exists as of yet. You can go through the Fight app, which does an okay job, but a streaming service with all their modern classics just waiting for you is sorely missed. I wanted to watch All In the other day and had to find it on YouTube. What is that? This will change sooner rather than later, of course, but again, this is about what WWE is doing better right now, and it is a tick for them, maybe a gold star too. Number 8, stage and aesthetics. I would suppose this is why AEW seems to have stepped away from the unique sets over the years though, because when they kicked off it really felt like this was going to be one of their USPs. They even did a show on the flippin' Jericho Cruise. Since then, however, it's mostly been the Dynamite and Rampage setup, but tweaked slightly, meaning when you go like for like, WWE gets the nod. They still don't do it enough either. I wait for my Backlash blades to return every day, but just go and look at WrestleMania or the other major events they put on. The sheer effort is unreal, and the Mania sign gets bigger every year. One day it'll be too large to fit into the damn stadium, and then how is anybody going to be able to point at it? Number 7, merchandise. Given that some detractors like to say that AEW is nothing more than a t-shirt company, the fan base sure does like to criticize their t-shirts. This started in the early days though, because it's fair to say All Elite Wrestling would just put anything on a t-shirt. I mean, Paul White, after he joined, had one that said, "No more BS." Who is buying that? In short then, there just hasn't been one iconic shirt taking away from all the Bullet Club stuff that preceded it, whereas Vince McMahon has made sure to do that with the Hogans, Austins, Cenas and Reigns of this world. I mean, Roman seems to have a brand new piece of clobber every week. This can change on a dime when we do get that classic design, and sure, the CM Punk shirt was awesome. With that said, if somebody knocked on my door right now and went it was very similar to what we had seen before, well, it's hard to argue that. Number 6, video packages. AEW has an excellent team when it comes to the videos they're making, but here's the thing. They are a pro wrestling company, WWE is a content production company, kinda. Therefore, man, they are a beast at this stuff. In fact, Vince McMahon loves this so much, he often sacrifices doing his stories in angles or on TV, gets his sports entertainers to say over-the-top things, and then condenses them all down into a video package that makes you go, damn, this feud rocked. Even though you didn't think it at the time, it's a real skill. I still stand by the fact they don't have the punch as they once did, because I used to be desperate to watch the pay-per-views to see what we were going to get, but that's only because WWE can't help themselves and runs them at least 45 times per week. When you do take a step back and really engage with them though, it is top stuff. Number 5, making it look big. Another advantage of having a lot of experience, ever since WWE and Dick Ebersol teamed up in the mid-80s, Vince McMahon has understood the benefit of making every single show look massive. Perception is reality. It's why there's this crazy theory that Vinnie Mac saved wrestling from smoke-filled bingo halls and turned it into the glitz and glamour of today, because that's the message they put out there with their images and photos. They also benefit due to the sheer mass of people they can draw to a Mania, and their production really is second to none. This is already being challenged because go and watch the Arthur Ashe Stadium from last year to show AEW can absolutely do the same. And never forget, this is what wrestling needs. You don't think the mythical casual fan isn't drawn to such an atmosphere? Of course they are. In fact, in many ways, It's the most important part to draw them in. Number 4, online content integration. WWE does have some pretty good synergy between its TV and online output. AEW is super ambitious with this too, as they integrate Dark Elevation and Road 2 into their Dynamite and Rampage stories, but it's still a work in progress. A few times we have seen fans scratching their heads because they didn't pick up on something from a different show, and the Ring of Honor stuff has been truly baffling. WWE goes the other way and likes to treat every viewer like they've never watched the product before, and that does mean every single feud, character, and motivation is made overly clear constantly. So there is definitely a better middle ground to be had here, but understanding is always better than not understanding. Let's hope one makes a step soon, though. Whoever does will benefit massively. Number 3, the right kind of exposition. 9 times out of 10 used just to explain a plot to someone as those in charge worry fans aren't getting it. It is a useful tool if you get it right. I'm not saying that NXT 2.0 is a better wrestling offering than AEW. I don't think it is. But something they may have stumbled across is the one-dimensional caricature. I mean, look at Toxic Attraction or Tony D'Angelo. They are stereotyped and then some, but you do totally understand it, and as ever develop some weird relationship with them because they're so over the top. This happens in wrestling a lot. They also just tell you what they're going to do and when they're going to do it, whereas AEW sometimes can get a bit wishy-washy with its roster. Do you remember when Tony Storm debuted, got a great pop, and then didn't wrestle for a few weeks? As already mentioned, this can confuse some people, and confusion is not good. Number 2, parity. I am sticking my oar down the middle with this one because there's great women's wrestling on both sides. But can there be more? Absolutely. And the truth is, when you get into the percentages, WWE does have a greater balance than AEW. Stats are stats. It has resulted in World Wrestling Entertainment doing far better numbers with the female demographic, and while more still can be done, it is something All Elite Wrestling could try and follow. It's not easy as they have so many people to get on TV nowadays, but I think it's fair to say that as of speaking right now, WWE women get more time than AEW women. So that's it, the end. Number 1, booking versus branding. There's little doubt that some of WWE's business practices as of late have been questionable, but when April rolls around every year, they splash WWE WrestleMania on some arena somewhere in America and sell about 80,000 tickets. It really does come down to the fact those 3 letters still define wrestling more than any other company, and this is because they've been a major player for decades. They've ramped this up in 2022 too, with SummerSlam and Royal Rumble being made for bigger crowds for the same reason. That takes a real effort to shift, which is why if AEW ever does it, you should keep an eye on this. Even today, they shouldn't be anywhere close, but would anybody bet against them? I think if you do, this has been proven to be a very silly idea.